What internet marketing expert should you spend your valuable time listening to? Listen to someone who has over 20 years of web marketing experience and hundreds of website marketing success stories. That man is Aaron Sparks from Site Strategics. And this is Edge of the Web Radio.
Got Jason Keath on the phone. Jason is a CEO and founder of Social Fresh, the social media education company. Thank you so much for joining us, Jason.
Great to be here, guys.
We really appreciate your time here. Now, Jason, you're a social media consultant and a social media speaker and industry analyst. What else do you do? That's a heck of a lot of different hats that you wear right there. But can you tell us a little bit more about what you do?
It's a lot of fancy words. Most of my time is spent running Social Fresh, and we're a training company. We mainly train through our own training products. We don't necessarily go into a company and set up shop and help them out directly. Companies come to us via our website, socialfresh.com, or they come to our conferences, Social Fresh Conference, twice a year on the East Coast and on the West Coast. And what I do in support of that is I curate a lot of very smart people. We were talking about Jay Bear before, people like Brian Solis, and we bring in a lot of experts from huge brands, from agencies, from vendors, et cetera, smart folks like yourselves, and we really try to curate the best voices that can translate the vastness of social media and online marketing, like we were talking about before, and bring it down to that. How do we actually get, products sold, services sold out of it? And we bring a bunch of great examples and success stories, and we try to keep it fresh, as our name implies, and try to bring the latest and greatest stuff to people so that they can have that touch point of, hey, this industry is a little crazy. I need to make sure I'm on my game. Let's go to Social Fresh once or twice a year and really make sure we're up with everything we need to know to make sure our brands are doing the best they can online. And I curate our stuff on the blog, through the events. It's fun. It's fun to really work with smart folks like this every day.
Absolutely, and we were watching some of the videos that you've taken and put inside of YouTube. Just some great testimonials from a lot of different speakers as well as attendees, and it is really great to be able to see that regular attendance, that regular. Just coming back around to just a nexus point of people that are in the industry, that are knowledgeable about this, but it's not just those practitioners. Businesses and different types of marketers as well as business owners can also attend this as well, right?
Yeah, we don't focus on one type of company. The thing we like to say is we teach the fundamentals. We have a broad audience from small businesses and startups to Fortune 500 and the largest agencies in the world attend our events and visit our website. And my challenge is to take the intelligence of someone like a Ford or a GE who's speaking at our event, or a small business, and make sure that they're relaying their lessons and their success stories in a way that is accessible to everyone that's there. And I think that's, there's a difficulty level there to make that stuff accessible, but I'm a firm believer that marketing fundamentals are, in fact, universal, and that whether you're B2B, B2C, a small mom and pop store, or Time Warner Cable, the lessons of what works and what doesn't can hold true to your business.
Excellent. Well, can you tell us a little bit more about Social Fresh? When was it founded?
I started the company in kind of December 2008, right, going into 2009, and we had our first conference in the summer of 2009 in North Carolina. And then from there, we did 7 conferences in the next year. We started our blog the next year, socialfresh.com, and to give you a sense of the blog is a big support of our events, obviously, and our events are where we make most of our money. So the blog is basically our free contribution to the marketing universe. We bring a lot of smart voices on there, and the audience we reach there is very much a global one. 200,000 people. 200,000 marketers a month visit our blog, and we have a great conversation there about marketing, about digital marketing, about social media.
Absolutely.
But we really want people to come out to the events because that's where we feel like we offer the most value. So we have our next conference in San Diego next month, August 22nd, 23rd. We have a lot of great people coming out to speak, and what they'll experience is 2 days of a conference, 15 speakers on stage, one speaker at a time. So we don't do panels.
Oh, good.
We don't do tracks. We don't confuse people. We don't give you a chance that you're going to guess that this speaker is going to work out for you, or this panel is going to have one smart person on it. We keep it very simple. We curate the speakers so that our attendees don't have to. and they come and they are there for 2 days. They enjoy a lot of great networking, 15 great speakers, and we really try to focus on the quality, both of their in the intelligence and the wisdom they can convey from the stage, but also in the kind of stagecraft and their ability to entertain and not put the audience to sleep as well, because there's a lot of smart people out there that aren't necessarily the best speakers in the world. So we try to bridge that gap to make sure people have a good experience. And, we have all kinds of interactivity there. We have vendors from all over the world that come in to exhibit, and it's a great event.
Oh, fantastic. Now, do you use some feedback, especially from social interactions, to help guide the agenda planning for those events?
I think the agenda is typically, we have a content committee. Myself, I'm clued in every day. I'm talking to our customers, our readers, our attendees, our speakers. And what we try to do is focus on the strengths of the people. We try to focus on the trends, and we do listen to our attendees of what they want to hear. For the most part, we focus on the fundamentals that are most important to our attendees at the time. So right now, content marketing is very big. Facebook is very important. But we also have to pay attention to what they don't necessarily know that they need, but we know that it's going to be important to their marketing moving forward. So things like Facebook advertising is a big topic area for us, even though I'd say the majority of our audience is not advertising on Facebook yet. I'm confident that that's going to be important to most of them in the next year or two. So we make sure we have content associated with that.
Excellent. Now you're well known for giving speakers 30 minutes to present. Now that's a deep dive, and I'm sure the attendees get a lot out of that. Can you?
Yeah, Well, some people, some conferences you go to, people are up on stage for an hour or more. You go to maybe like a TED Talk or an Ignite event, and they're up there for 5 to 15 minutes. We're right in the middle of that, and I think we've kind of found the perfect time period where people don't check out mentally. If you're sitting there listening to a speaker for 45 minutes or more, it starts to become very easy, unless they're super engaging for a long period of time. It starts to become very easy to lose kind of your focus. So we want to make sure people are focused. We want to make sure we give them breaks throughout the day to network, to think about what they've heard, to have those hallway conversations where they can really learn from each other about what they've heard. But we also want to give speakers enough time to dive deep into what we would consider a niche topic or a niche success story. So instead of having Walgreens, who's coming to speak at our next event, get up on stage and tell us everything they do in social media, I'd rather get them up on stage and tell me what they've seen the most success with, and do a deep dive for 30 minutes into that specific topic. Specifically for them, they're going to be speaking about blogger interactions and how they treat it in a PR perspective versus a social perspective, and where they see success with it. And they've really seen a lot of success with it. And I think that's a great example of getting the best out of them for our attendees.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, if you're listening and just tuning in, we're listening to Edge of the Web Radio. We're talking to social media leader Jason Keath. Can you tell me what type of challenges your attendees are focused on?
Well, there's a few areas of kind of the marketing ecosystem online where I consistently see people have trouble. One of which is what I refer to as distribution. So they'll create content, they'll put up a Facebook contest, they'll have some type of blog post or YouTube video or opt-in form that they want to get people to, that they're just not getting the volume of people to or the quality of people to that they need. A lot of times that's an advertising, a networking, or a content solution. And it gets into a pretty complex conversation, but more or less people need help with getting their stuff out there to the right people more and more. They feel like they can blog, they feel like they can create videos, they feel like they can tweet and do customer service, but they don't necessarily know how to get their message out there to the right people and to the right size audience for their business.
Gotcha. Well, could you spare any special moments that you've had here over the last few events that you've hosted with our radio audience?
Yeah, there's some real insights we've seen when it comes to advertising on social networks. And I think a lot of companies get onto social networks and they use it as a customer service tool. They use it to push out their blog post or their videos. But we've had folks like Adrian Parker from Intuit. We've had folks like Michael Brito from Edelman, and Matt Singley out West Coast, Justin Kistner, who's a Facebook ad expert that we use. And they've all kind of spoken to this ecosystem of paid opportunities within social. Now, if you're a small business and you're scared of that word paid or advertising and you're not sure, if you have the budget to do these things, you can really experiment with Facebook ads or with Twitter ads or with all kinds of other native advertising options with small budgets and really see success. And once you see that success and see where it can go, you can feel more comfortable putting more money behind it. So, little tips and tricks about finding your audience, about how to do Facebook ad targeting, especially on mobile these days, which is really good for Facebook ads, and how it's not necessarily the easiest thing in the world, but if you take it one step at a time and test things correctly, you can really find great opportunities for your business.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, coming up, we're going to continue our interview with Jason Keath from Social Fresh. We're also going to be covering some great concept points of how you can find some topics to write in your blog coming up on The Edge.
You're listening to Edge of the Web Radio with Aaron Sparks. We're online with exclusive podcasts, the latest web news, and links at edgeofthewebradio.com.